So we'll be starting the group discussion here. Thank you everyone for joining. So in this group discussion, what I'll be doing is I'll be posing a series of questions, and I'd want to see how you respond to these problems, right? Now, let me give you some context before I pose the first question. So there is a certain company, and this company wants all the managers to give constructive feedback. Let's understand what is constructive feedback. So when someone says this is good or this is bad, that's just feedback. But if someone says, hey, this can improve, you wrote 20 lines of code, you could achieve the same thing with 18 lines of code. That's constructive feedback. If someone says this plant is functioning in a very slow manner, you can try to increase its speed by 10% by changing that screws in this manner. That is constructive feedback. If you're able to tell someone how they can improve, that's constructive feedback, right? Now there's a factory. In this factory, there are 500 workers and there are 30 managers. 500 workers and 30 managers. Now this factory wants all the 30 managers to give constructive feedback to the workers. Now, as a data scientist, how would you solve this problem? Anyone? As a data scientist, how would you solve this problem?
Sir, can you explain the problem?
The problem is there are 500 workers in a factory. There are 30 managers in a factory. The company wants all the 30 managers to learn how to give constructive feedback to the 500 managers. How would you solve this problem?
We can divide all the managers into 500 employees, and we can teach them how to give constructive feedback.
But where is the data science angle here?
Let me think, sir.
So can you please elaborate the question, sir? There are 30 managers are there and 500 workers are there, and what they want to give constructive feedback on 500 employees, the workers.
So yeah, there are 500 employees, 500 workers in the factory. Okay. And what the company wants to do is, and there are 30 managers, the 500 workers and the 500 workers and 30 managers. The company wants all the 30 managers to learn how to give constructive feedback, right? So now you as a data scientist, how will you solve this problem? To help the company in making sure all the 30 managers are giving constructive feedback to the 500 employees.
We can use two scenarios here. The first scenario is first we have to take the all the data, whatever the provided to the each and employee by the manager. Have to consider that particular data. From the data means whatever the reviews given by the managers to the each and employee, I will take the particular data. And by using the data, I will take a format in the sense of the each and employee and the review given by the particular manager and their name. I will take the entire the data, and by using NLP technique, first I will apply the tokenization and separate the data, whatever the tokenization, and applying the lemmatization and stemming. From that, I will try to understand the convert the each and every review of the manager into the by applying TF-IDF factorizer into textual format to the numerical format. From that, I will give the weightage to the important word, which is used by the particular manager. And even I will give the machine to the which are the words really related to the particular review, means which is the constructive kind of reviews are there. I will compare with that particular review, and I can make the by applying the all the classification algorithms, and then I can easily find the who is the manager. Means in the output, I will take the each and every manager's review, and from that I can analyze by comparing the manager input and my constructive. I have some formatted constructive reviews are there. I will compare with them. Then I can say the particular manager gives the constructive review or not. This is the way I can solve the problem.
Sure. Thank you, Love Kumar. That's a very interesting solution. Anyone else?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Firstly, data scientists can help managers to give constructive feedback in a few ways. So, firstly, Firstly, I'll go with a data analyst. I can provide they can provide insights into employee performance, which can help the managers to identify areas and where improvement is needed. So secondly, then I'll use the data science tools that can be used to develop automated feedback systems that provided and objective feedback to the employees. Okay. After that, lastly, I'll go with the data science tools again to understand the employee behavior and performance using the sentiment analysis or NLP libraries. NLP models. Overall, the data scientists can be provide valuable insights and enable managers to give a constructive feedback in a more effective and efficient manner. This is I thought. This is my side. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Shyam.
you.
Yeah.
Sir, we will start by, if you want to give an constructive feedback, we will start by gathering data. To gather data, we will use questions like how did they perform, if they were satisfied with their performance, what they think if they gave their 110%. These type of we can ask these type of questions, and then we can ask them to give them a score in below 1 to 10. Then we will have a data. Then after gathering that data, we can visualize it. We can compare one data with other data. If an employee performed well, why did he perform well? If he performed not that good, what was the reason that he can't perform? We will use visualization to analyze that data. Then after visualizing and using data science, we can give constructive feedback to employees.
Okay, that's a very interesting response. Thank you, Rajan. All three very different but interesting. Yeah, who wants to go in next?
So 30 managers give feedback of 500 employees.
Yeah, 30 managers, 500 employees. Yeah. 30 managers, 500 employees.
Okay, sir. And what we need to do is we need to finally give one feedback for the workers, 500 workers. Right? I'm facing this question.
So the problem statement is, how do we equip the 30 managers to give constructive feedback to the 500 employees? We want all the managers to give constructive feedback. We want all the managers to give constructive feedback. Anyone else wants to respond?
Yeah. So, sir, as you said, I need to teach the 30 managers to give positive feedback to the 500 employees, right? The
Yes.
500 workers. Okay, sir. On an industrial scale, as much as I know, or the workers that are working as permanent workers, number of permanent workers they are working, every manager is having the record of that, and they are distributed within the managers. Like every manager should have a particular amount, like either 5 or 10 workers under him. So he's keeping a record of them, and he's eventually giving marks and ratings for them, so that at the end of the year or end of the month they can give some numbers to them on their work performance and their abilities. So we need to take those records in ourselves so that we can keep a track of that, and the software can be made using Python and database SQL, where every record is accumulated and it is arranged by itself, and marks are given according to that, and what are the faults and what are the things that can be improved are automatically generated, and that thing we can forward it to those particular
How will it
managers.
get automatically generated?
So with AI we can use do
What
that.
AI?
So we need to like make the AI. We'll have to do it.
How will you do that is my question.
So you are using so making the program like
What program?
right
My
now.
question. This is a data science interview. No, you can't say I will make. I have to know what you will make in that.
No, no, sir. So the with the data analytics reviews
What
can be
data?
created.
What data? What analytics will you do?
So with the data that the managers will provide,
What data will they provide?
that what is the work performance of the each employee. Like obviously we'll be giving them a sheet where we can
For example,
distribute.
let's say everybody gives you a score on a scale of 10 about employee performance. What next?
Yeah.
What next?
No, it will not only be 10. It will be divided into particular categories, like the weekly offs they are taking or the holidays they are
Beautiful.
taking.
Beautiful. Okay, so there's a segmented data. You have segmented data. Next.
Yeah, yeah. And with that data, we'll program software so that that can be automatically
How what will
generated.
you program? What will you program is the question.
What is the program?
What will that program do? Okay, I have said, okay, let's make life easy, right? Let's say there's Rajan.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's say three parameters Rajan is given feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say for Rajan for commitment is given 9 on 10.
Yeah.
For punctuality, let's say is given 7 on 10.
Yeah.
Quality of work, let's say is given 8 on 10.
Yeah.
What will this AI do?
First of all, it will check that with the other employees, what is the rating he's getting. And after everything is done, like after everything is sorted out, it will go to the manager itself, and manager will give review that for which reason this is less, like maybe work efficiency is less or output is less, something is less, and in that the worker will give the review, sorry, the manager will give the review that this is the reason, and for that a constructive feedback will be provided to the manager so that he can provide it to the worker.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else?
I want to continue. Uh, 30 managers given feedback of 100 hours, and for individual workers we will have 30 managers constructive feedback, sir. And when using NLP techniques, and by using NLP like tokenization decisioning, we can by removing some of the stoppers from sentences and the feedback that the manager given, and finally we can obtain so we can compare all managers reviews for a single candidate. And finally, by comparing what by comparing all the 30 managers employees, we can give most repeated feedback to the particular employees that can make and help him to improve in that category, in that particular problem from his side, sir.
Okay. So I have a very different question. I mean, or rather, I have a follow-up question to this. Now, let us say I want a mechanism to measure the. I mean, let's say the managers are always giving feedback, and I want to measure whether they're really giving. I mean, how constructive that feedback is something I want to measure. What do you think you could do? I want to measure how constructive that feedback is, which different managers are giving. What do you think you could do?
We can make a range which can decide for example, I am trying to say that we can decide a range. So, let's say someone got 10 to 15 marks. Then we can decide he tried, but he couldn't perform. Then someone got 15 to 20 marks. He performed decently. By doing that, now we know that employee performed. Uh, that employee performed this much. Then if a manager is saying he performed really well, but we have a data that he didn't perform we have a data in his marks, it is saying he didn't perform very well, then we can know he is giving constructive feedback or not concerned. He is not giving any constructive feedback.
How will you know if he's giving constructive feedback or not?
Sir, we can use scoring. Let's say someone got 25 marks out of 30, but manager is saying he didn't perform very well. Then we will know he got 25 marks. There must be a reason he got that much marks. If he's not if he was not performing well, how could he get 25 marks?
But how do you know if that feedback is constructive or not? What is your understanding of constructive feedback?
Sir, my understanding of constructive feedback is by analyzing everything. Let's say in this department he got that much. In this department he got that much marks. A manager will manager will tell him to improve in this department. That is what I think of constructive.
Okay.
Okay, yes, Tarun. Like overall, like after providing a valuable insights and like enabling after that enabling the managers to give constructive feedback. Like a meaningful, effective and efficient manner. So by leveraging data which they provide us, so managers can identify area for improvements where the where we have to improve service for the for the employees or what like that. So providing consistent feedback and like their feedback to be to the need of each individual employee, like that. Yes, sir. That's all.
Who wants to go in next?
Sir, here I'm using the sentiment analysis concept. Like I will take the review of the particular manager and along with the score. And from the review, I will find are they giving the by creating the particular range for the each and every review and particular number, whatever the rating they are giving. I will create the separate columns, and from that I create like a positive feedback or negative feedback or neutral feedback. From that I can find the are they giving by analyzing their feedback, and I can find the are they giving the positive feedback and in the constructive manner. Positive feedback like a constructive manner. If they are not, I give the rating like a 5, and some of the manager give the 5 rating out of 10. It's like I'm considering like it is like a neutral, and if he provide the rating below the 5 rating, I will consider it like below underrated, means less constructive, more constructive, less constructive, and neutral type of constructive. By creating the separate columns, we can say particular manager give the constructive review or not. Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone else wants to go in?
Yes, sir. Can I add, sir?
We have 30 minutes back for field employee.
Sorry. Santosh, I think when you come in interview, you're supposed to ask for internet. You may disconnect because we can't hear you properly.
What is so? Not clear, sir.
No, your voice is not clear. Internet voice is not clear.
So actually, I was connected to college LAN network, so better, I think so.
Okay. Now, I have a different question for you guys. So,
Yes, Tarun, sorry for interruption. I just want to add something.
yeah,
Okay, like so as I said, after that we can conduct a meeting to the managers. So in meeting, I would ask the employee to like provide their own assessment of their like progress since the feedback was given from them. So like this will help us to understand and whether they have fully understand the feedback and implement any changes or like any improvements from for the employees. So for this is what I understood.
okay.
Okay, so thank you.
So, well, actually, this can be easily done, like taking the reviews from the workers, like few reviews, and then putting it in natural language processing system and analyzing the languages used by the managers, and easily it can be like figured out if it is constructive or not.
Okay. No, but then you're using the AI model to check if it's constructive or not.
Yes, yes.
Can there be another way to solve it?
Well, then we'll be needing three subsystems. One is from the people, like from the workers. We need to take the reviews what they have given, and their product, their working sheet, their data sheet, how they have worked, performed, performance sheet, and from the managers what reviews they have provided, and a third, a peer review system by which can literally check both of them, that the reviews given by the manager are correct or not, and the work efficiency or the performance done by the people, like the workers, are correct or not. And
Okay. But he got disconnected, he got stuck. Okay. He got stuck. So I have a next question for you guys. So many of these managers are not very tech savvy. Now, if you want to build this data oriented systems and you want to collect the data, they may not be interested in the data. How will you teach them to use these tools? And how will you teach them the importance of, data so that they take the entire project very seriously? Because these managers are used to doing things with pen and paper. They're not, they're not, you have to bring out a digital transformation. So how will you bring the data oriented transformation in there?
So, sir, when we provide a connection and laptop for laptop, sir, when we provide a laptop and a connection for the managers, and they need to enter all the data of the employees in the but rather that we can some some common questions there, sir. Some common reviews and some common ratings will be there for every data for collecting whole data of the and whole data and performance of the employees. And the manager need to just tick just need to choose and overall from a rating of 0 to 10 for performance and the overall time he is working in the office and the coming time and the time he leave and rather than we guide managers to enter all the data and we can implement that we can implement just they need to choose whether the employees are working or not. It's better to just have some including some common questions and some common reviews and rating, and it will surely get a digital transformation rather than entering all the data into the Excel sheet and making workbooks. I think it's quite better.
Okay. Anyone else? So these are managers who are not used to technology. You're trying to bring a digital transformation where all the data flows in and you want more data driven decision making. So how will you bring this cultural transformation in the people?
Yes. So basically, as I know, to teach a managers who are not like a techies so about the collection. So I would start by providing an overview or clarification of the benefits of data collection and how it can be used to inform or make a like a data decision making. And I would then focus on practical example of like performance metrics and like customer feedbacks. So after that, so to make the technical accept of the data collection more effectively, more accessibly for them, so I would use a simple non-technical language to avoid a confusion between them, as they are not techies. So I would also provide clear example and I use visualizations to visualizations like bar graph and graphs charts, and to illustrate the data collection process, and how it can be used as how it can be used to inform a decision, like that. So I feel this is right. This is correct.
Okay, thank you, Shamir.
Thank you.
Want to add points. And you get then a view from the managers, and we need to process the whole data, sir. And it requires a lot of effort and the that we get finally very low. And rather if the managers are given any rating or some pretend words as reviews for the employees, and it would help the analysts and scientists to extract valuable insights very easily. As actually the data we get already contain pretend words, and those are not commonly limited for all the employees, and it will be very useful, and it will surely get a very great insight from the data, and uh, and the efficiency we get also very high, sir.
Okay, thank you, Santosh.
Because they are not that techy. I continue. Sir, because they are not that techy, it will be hard to teach them new technology. So I will not force them to learn something. Instead, I will use visualization to show them charts and to show them how this guy performed last week and how he is performing right now. It will be easier for them to understand that data. And also, I will show them a really big data. So a really big and complicated data, and I will use visualization to make it interesting, and I will use visualization so they can understand that complicated data. If I will show them visualization in a very small data, simple to understand data, they will think that we can do it without visualization. So they will not understand my point. That is why I will use a complicated data to show them how data science can help, how these technologies can help them in day-to-day life.
Okay, thank you, Rajan.
And after and managers work is to give feedback. Managing data is my work, so I will do that. Basically I will use visualization as much as I can. I will create bar chart, pie chart, histogram to make data easier to understand.
Yeah, thank you, Rajan.
So, I use first I have to make them all the managers to somewhat study little bit study about the how to fill the particular Excel sheet, or otherwise I use the Google form. Actually, I will create a particular link, and I will create the question for the each and employees, and from that he will directly give the rating, and end of the rating of the particular employee, he will directly give the review of the particular employee, and it will directly store it in the form of Excel. It will very easy to make prediction from the using the Excel to the data scientist, and manager also easily give the particular customer particular whatever the employees below the manager, he can give you his particular review by using the link what is the provided to him by giving the all the questionnaires. is on the scenarios.
Okay. So I have one other question. People are not used to data-driven decision making. How will you teach this habit of data-driven decision making, where people are used to deciding based on their experience or instinct, not by looking at data and deciding? So how can you inculcate this habit among managers to bring in data-driven decision making? You're collecting data, you're coming up with charts and all of that's fine. But how will you inculcate this habit of, because for 30 years they're doing it with their experience. They're not doing it with data. How will you inculcate this new habit of doing it with data? Santosh, I mean,
Okay, Rajendra, you can continue.
Rajan, please continue.
Sir, we will use I will use machine learning algorithm to predict a data. Then I will show them that look, this is how we can predict future by using machine learning. And when they will see it, they will start to believe it. At first, I can understand. At first, they won't start using technologies because they will not be trusting it. But after some time, when they will see that whatever machine learning algorithm is predicting, almost every time it is true. It is very rare that it is false. So after some time, they will also start using.
So in the factory setup, what will you do with machine learning? What data what will you do with machine learning?
No, sir. In factory setup, we can't do anything with machine learning. We can use different things.
But my question is, how will you get these guys to do data-driven decision making?
So, okay.
Yeah, Santosh.
Suppose we take 500 employees are there, and similar that example only, and 30 managers are there, and the company wants to fire the last 50 employees, those who are underperformed, and when the whole manager was asked those 30 managers and those want to fire them, and maybe because of some personal problems or maybe some other problems, in the 500 employees, maybe some 50 employees, maybe from last 2 weeks or from last one, they may underperform. But overall from past 5 years or from past years, they may perform very good. But because they're not performing well from past 2 weeks or from past 1 month, and the managers had a great on those particular individuals only. And when we fight those 50 employees, and the company would be very glad very in choosing any wrong decisions. Maybe in the 50 employees, maybe someone could perform very well. Maybe because of some other reasons, they may underperformed that last month. And when we use this ratings and reviews from last to maybe 5 to 6 years.
Santosh. Yeah. First of all, please fix your problematic. So I'm not sure if you understood. The question is, somebody who's not used to data. How will you help that person? Data-driven decision making. That is the question. That person has a habit for 30 years. That person has a experience, not data. How will you form this new habit of doing it?
Sir, that's what I want to tell. And sir, if we had a review and rating of those 500 employees from past 5 to 6 years, and the probability of choosing wrong 50 ones maybe decreases, sir. And we would analyze those 500 employees from past 5 to 6 years, and we would have it.
What if I don't want to change? What will you do is my question. I'm doing it since 30 years. I don't think your data. What will you do? I don't want to change. What will you do? Okay. Thank you, Santosh. Anyone wants to take?
I want to give the one scenario, generally they are stick to the old methods. Now we have to make them a taste to the new methods. First we have to guide them towards the new technologies, and how it will be very consuming very less time. Like in olden days, we are continuously using the currency notes, but now we are using QR codes. In the same way, we have to create a simple methods to give the reviews to the older method followed managers.
I'm not talking of just methods, right? It's the mindset where you don't use data, you don't collect data, you don't use data, you do it only with your experience. So how will you make them think numbers? They don't think numbers, they only think experience. How will you change that mentality? That number driven mentality to see which one is having more performance and then deciding. How will you get that mindset in people? Imagine you're teaching this to your own parents. Imagine you're teaching this to your mother. You want to teach your mother how to use data to do something. She says, for last 30 years, I'm doing it without any data. Why should I do it now? How will you convince your mother? Anyone?
Sir, about the industrial part. So first, we need to. So can you listen to me?
Yes.
Yeah. First, we need to put up an interactive workshop where we'll be giving them live scenarios, like 10 to 15 scenarios uh, uh, about their experienced reviews and their interact, like the machine learning or the data system reviews, and we'll let them decide that which one is correct. And even if their one is correct, we'll tell them that okay, fine, and this is a new system you use. After 30 days, you are not you're thinking that this is not right, not appropriate, our system is good, so obviously you can shift back, or else we can continue this one. And by 30 days they'll get accompanied and they'll get used to the system. You can easily change the system.
Okay.
Sir, we can build their trust by showing them previous examples where data helped someone. For example, Asian Paints used data-driven decisions to become a very large company. We can show that to our managers. Look here, they took data-driven decision, and that performed. That gave them a very good results. So we can also use it. We can't force them to use our data-driven decision, but we can slowly implement those data-driven decision. Uh, I think by showing previous examples, they will understand how data can help them. They can use data and their experience both. They can combine both and use that in their company's advantage.
Okay.
Yes, sir, to help a managers to develop a habit of data collections, it is very important to create a culture. We have to create a culture that where which it shows the data data driven decision making. So to make I would first work to create a culture within an organization of data driven decision making. So this could involve communicating and benefits of the data collection, and they can understand providing a regular training and training and support, and encouraging managers to share success stories of how data has been used to inform decision making. We can use previous data, previous example to show to make them understand, to inform them decision making is very important. So we have to change the culture. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I have a very different question here. Now, what if you do all these and the managers are like convinced, they're like, okay, we need to use data and all of that. But what if they're unable to think in a data oriented manner? They want to, but they're unable to. Then what will you do? It has become a habit for them to think in the old experience way, no? They want to do it, but they're not able to do it. Then what will you do?
Sir,
maybe partially had
sir,
So maybe we taking some past students and past decisions from organization, and we can explain them by choosing some other option from them, analyzing and getting this from the data, and we can have some better option and some better output rather than choosing the particular option, sir. Sir, actually, I believe learning from mistakes will be great, sir. And if you show them that that particular option, using that option maybe from where, but the option that taken from drawing insights from the particular data to perform more well and gets more profit to the organization. And by explaining such situations, surely that could change their mentality and their habit of taking decisions without analyzing data.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It takes time to build a habit. Okay, so it could be due to the variety of a technique variety of technical skills, or insufficient resources from previous years, or they may not they may not able to understand the problems properly. So I would first work to identify the root cause of the problem by talking to the managers and gathering feedback on their specific challenges and needs. So based on this feedback, I would then provide additional support and resources as they needed to improve themselves. So this could provide a training on data collection methods and tools. So we can conduct a trainings on them. So obviously it takes to build a habit, right? So we can provide a trainings on that, and offering a coaching or a mentorship to the one-on-one mentorship to help managers to overcome specific challenges which they are facing. This is what I feel.
Okay.
And we can give the some examples like how the new methods are very helpful to them in the sense of time. How
I'm not sure if you understood the problem statement. Problem statement is they're willing to do it, but they're unable to do it. What will you do is the question.
it's like we are already guided them as they face where they are facing the issues. We have to find out them, and we have to show some easy methods, and based on that we can give some training parts to where they are facing the issues. Based on that we can easily make them this process is easy, how they are changing their old mentality to the new mentality once in a while.
Is we have to make them that the data driven decision making is as a priority for them, sir. This will also help to understand them in their life.
Okay.
Sir, in the beginning, it is hard to understand data. So we can start by teaching them little things what is a database, how to use a database. We can use pictures to teach them that, look, this is how a database. We can give real life examples so they can understand how database works. So we can start by teaching them basics. Then we can use smaller database. So it will be easier for them to understand data. Then after when they are when they get used to it, then we can then even they can understand the big data.
Very good point, Rajan. Very good point. Okay, one last question for everyone here. So now let me explain the project to you guys. Let me explain what is a project. So UniqueBioTech is India's largest manufacturer of probiotics. So currently the factory has about 500 employees, and in that about 30 of them are managers. Now the market for probiotics is massively increasing. So now the company wants to bring a cultural transformation where everyone is engaging in data-oriented decision making, and they want to bring automation. You know, when you say digital transformation, for us, digital transformation is also about data, where you're collecting data everywhere and you're trying to see how you can bring efficiency. Because now when the company is growing, and the company is scaling, it's super important that, you know, their production capacity also grows. So they want to coach the managers. They want to bring data-driven decision making into managers. They also want the data scientists to set up good systems, collect the data, see what's working, what's not working. And the end goal is to increase the production capacity of the factory, because the market is growing, but the production capacity has to grow. So it's a two thing. One is people transformation, other is digital transformation. But unless you carry the people with you, the digital transformation will not happen properly. This is what this project is about. Now, my question is, why do you think you are the right person for this project? The project goal is to carry people along this digital transformation and increase the production capacity, power of data and people. Why do you think you are the right person for this project?
Sir, I think I am right person for this project, because I haven't done BCA or MCA. I am from a BA background, and even I have changed my career. So I understand what difficulties people face when they are trying to understand data. They are trying to implement a machine learning algorithm, and when they are using statistic. Because it was very hard for me to understand statistic at beginning. So I know how challenging it can be. So it will be easier for me to understand someone's problem and react according to that. And other than that, I love Python. I love doing creative things. That is why I think I should be a part of this team.
Thank you, Rajan. That was a really nice pitch. Who's going next?
Yes, sir. I have acquired I have relevant skills and experience which I shall bring to your organizations. And even though I'm I'm a fresher, so I assure you that I will give you my best work to my to fulfill potential, so that I can contribute as much as I can towards the growth and growth of the growth and welfare of your company. During my studies, I worked on 3 projects and 2 virtual internship, which allowed me to gain practical experience in working on a real world problems and applying my theoretical knowledge in a practical settings.
Shamil, let me stop you here. I'm not sure
Okay.
if coaching institute taught you this, but this is not going to help you. Reading standard scripts is not going to help you. Your answer is
Okay.
almost every candidate in India tells the same answer.
Okay.
Think original. Answer the question rather than by-hearting scripts. You were nice in the entire group discussion. But when I asked you why are you the right one, you by-hearted some answer and you're telling it.
It's because I'll be can I speak in Hindi? सर ये बात है कि मैं ऑल द स्किल्स अक्वायर करता हूँ, जो मैं प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स है मेरे पास, so that will make the problems and what are the problems your organization is going through, so I can make it clear with that, sir. So I think that I am the fit for this position.
Okay. Anyone else?
Sir, I am capable of doing. I am capable of using NLP techniques, and I can do sentiment analysis and other things. And basically, the fact is that I am from chemical engineering background, and recently I had switched my career to the software and enter into the data scientist role. And I believe that using visualization and some other thing could help and mentally motivate the employees and the managers in using data rather than just using rather than depending on only on experience. This is all from myself, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Santosh. Who's going next?
So yeah, I want to add something yeah. Generally, any project is first they are providing the data, and we are directly jump into the data, understand the problem. And here sometimes we don't understand the real-time scenarios. Like we can't find where it is really working or not. For that, I have studied about how really this data is getting generated by that product company. And from that, I try to understand the real-time scenarios, and I will try to apply all my skills. Because of this, I can easily understand the problem and easily solve the different use cases of the problem by using my all the analytical skills. Because of this, I am very suitable to this particular roles. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Loku.
Yes, I want to add something, sir. Like, as for my capabilities, like my capabilities makes me well suited to provide like support and guidance to the manager for, on a data collection and like management of a managers, like and seeking improvements through making a decision-driven, decision-making progress on to the managers. So, as a data scientist, I have a capability to do that. So I can add that I feel that I'm the fit person for this position.
Thank you, Shamir.
Thank you, sir.
Well, sir, basically I'm from a technical background, so I'm very well acquainted with the technical factors that will be required here. And as we were talking about the real-time scenario, I have myself set up a company, Royal Seeker, and I've been the CEO of that for last 11 to 12 months. So I very well know how to process works and do my works, gather employees, get the work done, and do a number of things which are required. So I suppose I'll be the candidate for this position.
Okay. Okay, I want to share some feedback with all of you. So I think Shamir, Lovakumar, and Rajan, three of you demonstrated that ability to solve problems. I think whenever I gave a situation, you came back with some solutions, which was definitely very interesting. Subhajit, I think your answers lack specificity. You may, I mean, when you say I'm going to bring in AI or I'm going to bring this, it needs more specific detail in terms of how you approach it. This video is recorded. I'm going to share a copy so you guys can go through that. I wouldn't see this as a competition between five of you, but I think there's enormous learning to see the thought process which everyone is bringing in, and also to see the mistakes which somebody would have committed and how you can learn from that. But I think overall, Subhajit, I think can bring more specificity. Yeah, these three were nice. Santosh, I think quite a few places you didn't understand the question carefully. So if you try to spend some time to comprehend the question, your answers will be more relevant to the question. A lot of times what it felt was question was something and answer was something else completely different. Now, in few places, I felt that three of you demonstrated great empathy, but in few places you were lost in the technology and you forgot the fact that, you know, there are people and there are emotions involved. Just imagine your father or your mother being one of the managers in the factory who's doing the same thing for 30 years and they sent you to college and all of that in that same way. And you're going and, you know, imagine every manager is like your father. So how would you deal with them? The moment you think that way, you'll be very efficient at your job. I saw Lovakumar just smile when I said that. So see, all these people are also like your parents, no? It's not that if they don't do data-driven decision making, doesn't mean they're bad human beings, no? It's just that they got used to one way of working. We have to slowly teach them. Now, some points are very nice. I liked a few points particularly, like Shamir's point of I want to integrate this into the culture, I think was gold. Or when Rajan said that these people will not know any technology, I don't want to start with technology, I want to start with something very simple, I want to start with a visualization, was also gold, right? Or Lovakumar, the way he started, how he's going to implement his NLP to factor in people, or I think there were a lot of little ideas this way, which were very nice. I mean, the problems are very nice. So I think you guys are demonstrating great problem solving ability. Kudos to you guys for that. But I think a little bit of emotional connect, right? That empathy can be really useful because you're dealing with people. So, and these are not people who, I think again, Shamir brought a very good idea there. He said, these are habits and habits take time to form, and how you'll help them bring habits. Boss, I think I really loved it. That was a brilliant answer. And
thank you. Thank you.
So I really like your thought process, Shamir. And when I asked you, why are you the right person? You went back into all those stupid scripts. When you're a person who's capable of thinking so well, why do you want to use all those idiotic scripts? Talk about your ideas. Talk about how you'll bring all these ideas into the project. Now, I want all 5 of you to come up with a 2-minute pitch. Not now, by tomorrow. You'll record a 2 minutes video and give a 2-minute pitch, which we shall forward to the senior management. And the ones whose pitches are interesting, you'll get a one-to-one interview with them. But I hope this discussion helps you find out what you should talk in your pitch. And Shamir, in your pitch, don't say that I have 2 this projects, I have this, I have that. Talk about your ideas. Nobody's
Got it.
resume. People are interested in your ideas, what ideas you'll bring. Now, Lova Kumar, it doesn't mean you can't use the ideas of Shamir. It's open market now. You heard everybody's ideas. You can use anybody's idea.
Sure.
Okay. What we want to see is what is your outlook? What is your solution? Because even if you're hired, it's teamwork. It is not competition with each other. It's teamwork. How you learn from each other's ideas and solve the problem of the company. Now, Santosh Reddy may have had challenges in the group discussion. Doesn't matter. You can still go over this again and come up with a nice 2-minute pitch over what are your ideas and how will you exactly solve this problem. I'm sure this group discussion would have helped you understand what the problem is. Come up with how you solve the problem.
Actually, this is first interview, sir.
Yeah,
Actually, this is first interview, sir, and I think I performed quite well.
okay.
And I'm very thankful for your feedback, sir. I surely learned what valuable words I had got from you, sir.
Absolutely. So I'd love to all of you grow. I want all of you to succeed. Whether we hire you, we don't hire you, doesn't matter. If Indian youngsters do well, our country will develop, our economy will develop. I want to see all of you grow as fantastic data scientists. So the 2 minutes video which you're going to make sure you bring your ideas. Don't give speeches. Bring the ideas. Give your analysis. What does this project need? What does this project need? Right? And how will you do that? Like you said, habit formation is needed. Culture formation is needed. You have to get them used to technology. All good points are there. Combine all those points and exactly 2 minutes, because then the senior management will go through that. I will also recommend some of you because I've seen how you guys think, but I don't want this to happen through my recommendation. I want you to be the voice who will take this forward. So come up with a 2 minutes video. We'll forward it to the management, and the ones whose videos are interesting, the management will set up a one-to-one interview, and based on that one-to-one interview, we'll take a decision. Sounds good?
So
Yes.
the recorded video based on the complete this group discussion. That's
Yeah, I'll give the copy to you.
oh,
Stop.
sure.